What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my UFC 101 review video, sponsored by FightersKO.com. I'm going to go over the fights I did predictions on. First fight of the night, Josh Neer taking on Kurt Pellegrino. Kurt Pellegrino was able to come out, use his wrestling, use very, very good grappling on the ground to get control position and win a very convincing unanimous decision. He did have some good combinations on the feet, but for the most part, while it was on the feet, Neer controlled that. But Pellegrino was able to get the fight down, control position, stay out of some submission attempts that, Neer tried to get him in. He had a couple armbar attempts, an omoplata attempt, and Pellegrino was just able to shrug those off, work inside a guard, and win a very, very convincing unanimous decision. So congratulations to him. He's continuously looked better in each one of his fights, and it showed in this fight as well. All right, next fight, Ricardo Almeida taking on Kendall Grove. Almeida came out, used very, very good leg kicks to start off, some good combinations, even though Grove in the clinch and even standing had some really, really good combinations in the first and even throughout different parts of this fight. And Almeida was able to get this fight down consistently, work inside of guard, land some good shots, almost got caught with a nasty armbar in this fight. Almeida was actually able to power out of that, buck his hips, and do what you're supposed to do to position over and actually get out of it. But Almeida started to gas towards the later part of the second and into the third, but was still able to get enough takedowns, work enough positions on the ground with his grappling to take a unanimous decision, and he goes on to win. So congratulations to him. He should be making his move down to 170, which he said that he wanted to do. We'll see how that plays out. And for Kendall Grove, hopefully he comes back stronger in his next fight. All right, on to the next fight. A lot of controversy surrounded this one, and this will have to be left up to interpretation of what you thought happened. Amir Sadallah taking on Johnny Hendricks. Sadallah comes out, throws some good combinations, throws a high kick. Johnny Hendricks, gets Sadallah in the clinch, lands some nasty uppercuts, drops him. Lands one to the chin, throws some shots, hits, Sadallah in the back of the head. Murgliata steps in, stops the fight. I think it was at, let me just check this real quick, at 29 seconds of the first round, and declares it a TKO stoppage and a win for Johnny Hendricks. It's a questionable stoppage. Whether, it was early or not, it's left up to interpretation. In this situation, because of the angle Murgliata had, it may have looked like to him that, Sadallah was in trouble and he was just trying to protect Sadallah. But, we've seen, refs in rougher situations than this where they've been at different angles and they still have had the wherewithal to be able to know when a fighter was almost done. So, questionable stoppage. We'll have to see how this plays out and whether or not Hendricks and Sadallah will be matched up again, similar to like Aaron Riley and Shane Nelson. But nonetheless, congratulations to Johnny Hendricks. An impressive win for him. Puts his name on the map. We'll have to see how it plays out with this fight. For Amir Sadallah, he'll be back, barring, hopefully he doesn't run into more, injury situations. But nonetheless, like I said, a questionable stoppage, so we'll see how that plays out. All right, on to the next fight. Forrest Griffin versus Anderson Silva. Oh, man. Forrest Griffin came out very, very tentative, trying to use, distance and space, trying to time what Silva was doing. Silva switching stances from orthodox to southpaw numerous times. Griffin gets caught twice, real bad by Anderson. Falls down, gets back up. Anderson, throws a couple good leg kicks. Forrest comes forward with a 1-2 combination, with Anderson backing up, and then Anderson throws a right straight while backing up. Very reminiscent to the Melvin Manhoff, Mark Hunt knockout. Drops Forrest Griffin, knocks him out. Wow, very impressive. Anderson Silva wins via a first-round knockout. Forrest, very, I don't know what the game plan was coming into this, but very tentative. Gave a lot of space and a lot of distance to Anderson. Anderson came forward and was able to land those two good combinations where he actually dropped Forrest twice, and then the last one where Forrest walked forward and then Anderson just threw the right the right straight and drops him. So congratulations to Anderson Silva. This fight right here puts Anderson, if not at 2, but you can make the argument. I mean, the pound-for-pound status right now is just so muddied up. GSP has done so much at, the 170. Anderson now at 205 doing what he just did to Forrest Griffin, and then you still have Fedor in the mix, so it's left up to interpretation. All right, on to the next fight for the lightweight championship. BJ Penn taking on Kenny Florian. Like I said, what I thought the difference in this fight would be the boxing and the combinations that BJ would throw, and that did play into this fight. BJ was able to come out, have I think the better of the combinations. Kenny had the better of the leg kicks, which was no surprise. He had some good body kicks, some good inside leg kicks and outside leg kicks. He kept trying to use, throughout parts of this fight, the clinch to try to wear BJ down, similar to what GSP did. I don't know if that was something that, Delagrati, picked up from, what GSP did and tried to use a similar game plan. Kenny kept trying to go for the high single, wasn't able to get it. Still using the clinch. He did this throughout, the first 3 rounds, throwing the leg kicks, landing some combinations. But BJ, I think, getting the better of them. In the 4th round, BJ actually gets some, good combinations, gets a takedown, gets on top of Kenny, gets Kenny's back, sinks in the rear naked choke, and wins via a 4th round submission. BJ looked very, very motivated in this fight. He looked a lot better. He looked his cardio looked better. He looked bigger, which was a surprise. I think to most people, and even to me, I didn't realize just how big he was till he actually got in tonight to the cage. But he looked bigger. He looked more motivated. His cardio looked better, and wow, very, very impressive. So congratulations to BJ Penn. He retains his lightweight championship. For Kenny, he'll be back. And I'm sure he'll progress and learn from the mistakes in this fight. It looks like BJ will be fighting Joe Stevenson. BJ will be fighting Diego Sanchez next at 155. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But nonetheless, good night of fights for the most part. Decent night of fights, I would say. So make sure that if you hadn't seen this, check it out. Leave some comments, constructive, negative, positive as always. Make sure you check out my sponsors on the description side. And on that note, you guys have a great day.